Welcome back to Ghana Ground Up. My name is Desmond Kafui, and today we're tackling a topic that catches many home buyers off guard. That is hidden costs. You found the perfect property, you've negotiated a great price, and you're thinking, yes, I've got this. But then, out of nowhere, unexpected costs start showing up. You've got legal fees, stamp duty, your registration charges, agent commissions, and even renovation costs. And all these start adding up. And suddenly, the affordable house doesn't seem so affordable anymore. If you're planning to buy a property in Ghana, you may want to listen up because today we're breaking down the hidden costs in buying real estate. And that is, we're going to explore what they are, why they matter, and how to avoid being caught off guard. The truth is that knowing these costs upfront can save you from major financial surprises. So then, let's get into it. Let's dive into the first hidden cost, that is legal fees and documentation costs. Now, this is one of the things that you cannot skip, and you know very well that a solid legal process is one of the things that protects you from issues like fraud, disputes, or buying land that is not even available for sale. And in Ghana, legal fees typically range from between 1 to 3% of the property's value. And this amount covers things like your title verification, your land searches, drafting a sales and purchase agreement, and due diligence. But usually, if you're buying from a property developer, it's most likely the case that the developer will have the draft of the sales and purchase agreement sorted out. So all you have to do is review and sign. So even though your lawyer may not be the one who will draft this agreement, you may need him or her to review the document, to review the content, and also advise on any revisions before you sign. And if the property has any title issues, you will definitely need the additional legal work. And that means more costs. So you need your lawyer to sort out all these things for you. And here's a tip. Always hire a real estate lawyer and not just any lawyer. Real estate law is quite complex and you need someone who knows the system inside out. It might seem like an extra expense, but then it's worth every pesewa to ensure your investment is secure. Now, let's talk about ownership documentation. Buying a property isn't just about handing over your money. You need official proof that the land or the house you're buying is legally yours. And this is where title registration and stamp duty come in. You'll need to sort out the land title search, and this will cost you some money. And to get it right, you need to bring in your own surveyor to come and outline and confirm the dimensions and also plot out the coordinates and the boundaries and the features of the land you're dealing with. A land survey will also help you to confirm that the land you're transacting on is exactly what is captured in the documents attached and that you're also getting what you're paying for. There's some cost involved there as well, so just do well to be minded about all these little things that you have to pay for. And as part of sorting out the title on the land, you need to pay for the stamp duty. Stamp duty is basically a government tax on property transactions, and in Ghana, it typically ranges from about 0.25% to 1%. That's of the property value. Beyond the stamp duty, there's also the title registration fee, which you have to pay to the Lands Commission to process your title deed. And this cost varies depending on the location of the land and also the size of the land. If the property is not titled yet, you may need to pay for a land title conversion. And this process takes time and also it takes money. And without it, you might face some challenges when you're trying to sell a property later or if you want to use it as a collateral for a loan. Here's some advice. Don't just take the seller's word for it. Verify the land with the Lands Commission before making any payments. It's a small step that can save you from a lot of headaches later on. So then, get it right and then save yourself from all the headaches and all the issues that may arise later on. Next up is agency fees and commissions. If you're buying through a real estate agent, expect to pay a commission. And in Ghana, the standard commission is 5% of the property price, but then this figure is not set in stone. It may vary based on who you're dealing with. And on top of that, some agents may charge extra for what they call facilitation services. And this could include negotiations, site visits, or paperwork assistance and all that. But really, all these extras should be part of the 5% commission. So you have a case to argue if your agent tries to take more from you than is legally required. I know many buyers don't like the matter of paying commissions, and unfortunately, if you have to go find a property by yourself, you'll have a mountain to climb. But working with a property agent will simplify the process for you. So it's a choice if you want to have the convenience, which you will pay for, or go the hard route and then pay for it in other currencies like sweat, your frustrations, tiredness, and a high chance of not finding what you're looking for or what is suitable for you in the long term. Before you engage an agent, always ask about their commission structure. It should come up very early in your conversations so you don't end up with surprises when they bring up the topic. And being transparent from the very beginning sets clear expectations and also helps you get your budget right. So let's say you're buying in a gated community. That's great. But then here are some things that many buyers don't consider. Your service charges. Now, these charges cover everything from security to road maintenance to waste disposal and landscaping. And if the community has amenities like a pool or a gym, those are included also. These fees vary widely, and depending on the estate, you might be looking at anywhere from, let's say, 500 cedis to even 5,000 Ghana cedis annually. And keep in mind, some communities increase their charges over time as maintenance costs rise. And it's also smart to ask for a breakdown of these fees before you buy the property. You should ask questions like, what is the service fee, what is included, what does it cover, and can the management company increase the fees at any time with little notice? All these things will help give you a clearer picture of what to expect when you're buying your property in a gated community. Beyond buying in a gated community, we can also look at the cost of renovation and also the cost of furnishing. Some properties come fully furnished, but others don't. And you might end up buying an empty shell in a sense that if your home is not furnished, you may end up budgeting for things like the flooring, the kitchen fittings, your wardrobes, the AC units, and some electrical works. And furnishing alone can add 10 to 20% to your total cost. And even if you're dealing with a fully furnished unit, you might still need to upgrade, and you might want to change a few things around to match up your taste and your comfort. So always ask before buying, is this property fully furnished or is it a shell? And what's included in the purchase price? Planning for this cost means you will have fewer surprises down the line. Finally, if you're going to get a mortgage, know that you'll end up paying more than just the loan amount. There are processing fees to cover, which normally range between 1 to 2% of the loan amount. Then there's mortgage insurance, which is often required to cover unexpected risks. And then you also can think about, let's say, your penalty fees here and there for late payments. And I hope that doesn't happen to you. Interest rates in Ghana can be very high. So over time, you could end up paying, let's say, about twice the price of the property. A US dollar mortgage interest in Ghana stands around 13%, and the Ghana cedi interest is just a little under 25%. Before you sign up for a mortgage, always make sure to get a full cost breakdown from the bank, which will include your hidden fees and interest projections. Do well to ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. I can't really stress this enough. Please ask any and every question to get clarity on what you're getting into, because knowing what you're getting into helps you to plan better and also avoid any financial strain. Sometimes, as part of the mortgage process, you may be required to do an appraisal of the property to determine or confirm the value of the property. And some properties may end up being overpriced or underpriced. So then, a mortgage lender may require some proof of value before proceeding with any processes, and you will have to bear the cost of valuing the property. When buying a property, most people end up making the mistake of assuming that a site visit or a viewing is enough to confirm the build quality and also the finishing of the property. To the untrained eye, once everything looks fine, it's all good to go. But then to the trained eye, there could be potential dangers that are lying beyond the beautifully painted walls and the nicely laid house. So getting a professional to inspect your property to advise on whether some changes are needed or even if you should proceed with acquiring the property in the first place is very, very crucial. A little investment in a property inspection will go a long way to save you from regret down the line. So let's recap. Buying a property in Ghana comes with more costs than just the price tag. So you have to be prepared for legal fees, your stamp duty, agent commissions, your service charges if you're buying a gated community, your renovation costs, and also mortgage fees. My final advice: always budget an extra 10 to 20% of the purchase price of the property to cover the costs that have been mentioned. And also prepare so that you will not meet any surprises. Have you ever faced any unexpected costs when buying a property? Let's talk about this in the comments. And stay tuned for the next episode where we will delve into the ultimate real estate debate: renting versus buying. Which is the smarter move in Ghana? If you found this episode valuable, share it with someone who is looking to buy a property. I'm Desmond Kafui, and this is Ghana Ground Up. We're growing steadily and we're reaching more people. But then there's more ground to cover, and would like you to get on board by subscribing to the channel. We have an audacious target of reaching 100,000 subscribers this year, and that would be one less if you hit the subscribe button. So do well to join us on this journey, and many thanks for joining me on today's episode. I'll catch you on the next one.